That would help if I unmuted myself. Wow! It's me! Which put me in a bad mood because I was working on something and I didn't actually lose that much progress, but it still bummed me out that it happened. But also, my mom had to leave town for a couple days to attend a funeral for someone that she knew. And, that's been a little rough. But on cheerier news, I started playing Key of Life, and just so much more to it. Like it really makes me happy to play. Let's see. The new Duck Detective has also come out, but I will not be playing that yet because I still have Deltarune to get through. Sorry about that. What else? Someone followed me last week and for the ages. The truth behind the SS5 incident. You know, last week, before I went live last week, I had thought that it was called the SS7 incident, and I really wanted to make an S Club 7 joke. I really did. But it was not meant to be. That's fine. Let's just get into it. As we left off, we found out that Sean Fenn was the son of President Zhen Wang. And he ran away. Oh, there he is. Didn't run away? Sean? Oh wait, he did run away. We were in the plaza last week. He was my dad. It can't have been easy learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. And too late to ever get to know him. You know how hard... Sorry, I did just eat dinner. It was sausages. You know how hard I tried to find him? Sean. I get it, he was the president. He had a lot more to think about than just me. But he was right there in front of me. Right there on the set. So why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was? I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Oh, that little sprite of them hugging. It's not your fault, Mom. It's mine. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would never have happened and he wouldn't have... I've ruined everything. Everything. It's all my fault. I even ruined your flowers. Sean, please. You mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. The bond between parent and child is symbolized by the lion lily. Oh hey, that's tonight's subtitle. I didn't actually expect someone to name drop that. Great, thanks, Lang. I'm no expert, but it's native to Zhengfa, so I know that much, at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. Wait, did I? Sorry, I'm trying to remember, because I think I accidentally replied to my a Blue Sky post rather than actually retweet it. Retweet. Computer's been weird about connections, or internet connection. And I'm like, why do you have a problem? You are connected by Ethernet. You dumb motherfucker. But to be fair, this is still one of the better computers I've had. If not the best. Which is saying, not a lot. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Lung, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us. You're right. I believe we've learned all we need to about what happened back then, for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those to the grave with him. Sorry, just checking something else. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out. What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned from Kay's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Yo, what's up? Hi. How do I pronounce your name? Kili George? Kili Jorge? How is day? Day's been alright. I am only Keely? Gotcha. My day's been okay. Well, actually, I did have one of those middle of the night stomach upsets. So I ended up having a rough time sleeping. But I am no longer out of my favorite soda. 'Cause yesterday I didn't have any and I felt like a slug. Which probably didn't help how I was feeling yesterday, 'cause that sure was something. But I feel okay now. I've had dinner, and now I'm here. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Good to hear, thank you. I hope you enjoy my shenanigans. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. Whoa, going right into it. The real story of the SS5 incident. What am I playing? This is Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit. I hope... I'm just going to double check, because when I went to update the thing on Twitch, I forgot to... Oh no, it's there, yeah. The sequel... It is the sequel to Ace Attorney Miles Investigations, Edgeworth. That's not it. Ace Attorney Investigations. I don't know why. My brain really wanted me to say Agent Attorney. Nobody's an... Oh, wait, no. Long is an agent. Maybe that's why. First time watching? Oh, yeah. This is actually the final case of the game. That's really funny. You're gonna have no context at all for anything that's gonna happen, I think. And you know what? That's fine. It's not like knowing what happens actually, like, ruins the experience. But that's me speaking for myself. The president went to the orphanage that night.
That much we know for sure. The Torosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn. Except he was kidnapped and Aldan happened to see it. If Aldan hadn't been there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping.
New evidence.
But there's something I still don't understand. There is. This. Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't? It is a good question. And we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time. Yeah, I guess we will. Alright, deduce away.
Alright. So the president went to the orphanage that night, that much we know for sure. Okay, I feel like there's no reason to pick that apart. Torosaurus toy proves it, but he must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn. Except he was kidnapped and Aldan happened to see it. If Aldan hadn't been there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. That's an interesting statement. I'm gonna keep that in mind for a second. Before anything else, I'm just gonna quickly... Oh yeah. Where was that evidence gone? There it is. Let's see. Yeah. Supposed to meet Amelie Fenn at the orphanage. Witness Elf Aldan was murdered, body moved, and a photograph of a kidnapping was staged.
Hold it!
Could we go over the details once again? So, Mr. Aldan saw the president being kidnapped from right by the orphanage.
And he was standing next to the snowman.
The murderer crept up behind him, grabbed a brick, and... Oh!
Yeet!
Alright, calm down. Calm down, Kay. We're simply verifying our understanding of events.
Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out of my ears. I know we have to go over all this again, but can we do it less dramatically?
Really? Fine. I'm happy to keep answering if you're happy to keep asking.
If Aldan hadn't been there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping?
Hold it!
Is that really the case? Oh my goodness.
If Mr. Aldan hadn't been there, That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain?
I didn't drop any frames, did I?
Oh no, okay. There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he was murdered. If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled.
Ah, I think that's our in.
Lang is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Aldan was the only person who died at the orphanage that night.
Well, of course he was. They kidnapped the president and everything. But the ransom was paid and he came home safely, right? Right?
She's right, of course, but why does something bother me about that? I think it might be worth taking another look over all the evidence. Finished discussing things with your assistant, Mr. Prosecutor? Then let's continue, shall we?
Okay. So. Yes. The blood wasn't his.
Objection!
Easy.
You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Aldan hadn't witnessed the kidnapping? But is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, they wouldn't have needed to murder anybody. And yet it remains possible that Mr. Aldan wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Aldan was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters belonged to somebody else?
Not so fast.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe. I'll be the first to admit it. But it's what the evidence suggests. Back, if you will. Something else was hidden with all the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage.
Oh, geez, I didn't realize this simulation had, virtual boy mode.
But why would Chairman Winner wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why.
He did? What was it?
It's right here in this picture. The picture my father kept. I think we can all agree that's the president on the right-hand side. And that's the Taurosaurus toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him?
Our old mate Bodhidharma Canis. Age, mystery.
He could be 300 for all we know.
Take that!
Eastern robes and a black dog that can only be Bodhidharma Canis.
What? The creepy assassin guy?
As opposed to the not creepy assassin guy. And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I can think of only one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination. Hi-ya!
And Warden Lagarde and Chairman Winner were...
Yes. I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Aldan was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination. And not the kidnapping he thought it to be at all. Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago?
He got better.
We only found his body this morning.
Except, oh, I seem to remember a piece of information that was mentioned to us before.
He was alive and well until just recently?
Yeah, we even met him. Did we?
Indeed. So, we have a president killed 12 years ago, and a president killed in the last 48 hours. 2 presidents, in other words.
Right, which is completely impossible. Is it?
Or is it? Or did I? I think it's entirely possible for there to be 2 presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. Regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Zhengfa may not be a big country, but he held that place together. The president Agent Long spoke of was a noble and capable leader. The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if they were 2 completely different people. But how could one country have 2 presidents? What could explain a situation like that? What indeed, Edgeworth? This is how it was possible for there to be two presidents. Mistaken identity! One was a body double. One of the two was a body double. Tell me that doesn't make sense. A body double. President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Zhengfa, a figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years, such as the one at Gold Lake only a few days ago. It's true. There were more than a few assassination attempts, but that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there was more than one president. Not without proof. Do we have any proof there was more than one president? Well, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, that's that one.
Take that!
Aha! I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In Amelie Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight. But it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time.
Huh? How come?
Because he was supposedly still at the embassy.
Oh, yeah.
With your father, Agent Long. Ooh. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been in two places at once is if there were two of him. Two of them.
Oh!
So the real president, that was the one who died 12 years ago. I think it might have been. But why? And who? Who could have hired Canis to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence. What was it again? Oh, just this picture of
Take that!
thing. The picture of the staged kidnapping. The picture taken with Mr. Alldown's camera was staged sometime after his murder. And Mr. Alldown was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph too must have been taken after the real president's death. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so he could take his place permanently.
God dang.
An Excelsius winner and Fifi Lagarde helped him to do it.
Knuckle back!
Wait! You don't even have a body to support your theory! Are you telling me it magically disappeared?
Objection!
Did it?
No. In fact, we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time.
Take that!
Alan, Nix, you got bad news? For chat. What? Rup. Rup.
Rest unpieces. Requestiat unpace. Oh dear. What? And how did you lose your life savings? Oh. Chairman Winner dug something up last night, something he couldn't trust anybody else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important.
Wait, you mean...
That's right. The real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway. What? The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. You bet your life savings on the Knicks winning last night and you lost. Oh! Tragic. God damn. See, that's why I don't gamble. not to be a jerk about it, but damn. Wait, who are the Knicks playing? Who did they lose? Who did they lose against? Because I know nothing about, what sport is that? What sport is the Knicks on? Is it the baseball? The Indiana Pacers. Okay. Basketball! Right, of course it's basketball. Dang! Oh, that sucks. Now you're gonna have to start your nest egg all over again. Mr. Powers informed us that construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie, and the recovery of the president's remains.
Yeah, I guess once they started digging the place up, they would have found them pretty quick, huh?
Agent Long, we need to have the so-called monster footprints analyzed again. Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, get me somebody from forensics. Sir, presenting the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt along with other signs of a body having been buried. The physique looks to be about right, and dental and medical records are a match.
Oh, shit!
It's him, no doubt about it. Thank you, Dr. Strongbad. So, as suspected, the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago. And the SS-5 kidnapping was, in fact, a homicide.
Wow. So it really was a murder, huh? This case has taken so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track.
Yes. Perhaps we should summarize our findings, just to confirm that we understand everything correctly.
Good idea. Let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage.
12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. His aim? To meet his infant son.
Excuse me.
The footprints we originally assumed to be those of Mr. Alldown seem likely to have actually been made by the President upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bodhidharma Canis.
That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to...
Indeed. But at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed.
114514 Yazoo. Hello. welcome to my stream. I hope you like Ace Attorney and investigations. 'Cause that's what's happening.
But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred.
Mr. Alldown's murder.
Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings.
CPC. Is that like CQC? Close quarters combat. Close proximity combat. I got it. I figured it out. I've connected the dots.
The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. That was the site that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. Far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point...
Oh, the body double who had come to meet up with his co-conspirators. Walked right up behind Mr. Alldown.
leading to our unfortunate eyewitness.
Being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So was it the body double who moved to Mr. So was it the body double who moved Mr. Alldown's body too?
Yes, I think it probably was.
But none of the footprints could have been his, could they?
Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. What shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints.
Without leaving footprints.
Take that!
By wearing the other guy's shoes.
What if the president's double moved Mr. Alldown's body like this? After killing Mr. Alldown, he could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look just like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes. Meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president...
Of course! His would have been the same shape and size. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. So that's how it all went down. I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get.
There is? What?
Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping?
Mr. Alldown had seen the president at the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message, so they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true.
By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw.
Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Lagarde.
She's the one in the trench coat? How can you be sure of that?
The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints, as he did before.
Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers.
The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out. Zhang Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret. And that secret died with him. Until today. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping and our family name being ruined. So, your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it.
Well, it's finally coming to light at last.
Is it indeed? Intriguing.
Huh?
What? Who's there?
The bell.
That sound. Is that a bell?
It's him!
Bodhidharma Caddis.
And his dog helmet.
What the heck are you doing here? Long, you can say fuck, it's okay. We're the law. You think you could just show up in front of us like it ain't a problem? Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wang. I did. But it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, should I say. Someone you're looking for, I suppose? Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary. To find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat. What?
Wait, you know who they are?
In a manner of speaking. What did you call them again? A secret mastermind? It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat? Red Riding Hood? The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he, Helmet? Yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned. He saved my life, you know. 12 long years ago.
Did he?
As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president, Winner, Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if I hadn't met my friend, the young pup, again, they might even have succeeded. I wonder what he's doing now. So, it was the president's body double who hired you? I remember his words almost as if it were yesterday. You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice. You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the one they always put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say I couldn't be just as good as him? Damn. There was a difference, of course. Even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because it walks and talks like a president. That doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No. So he got his wish and became the boss. But couldn't quite fill his predecessor's shoes. Wow, I've gotten 3 first-time chatters. within the first hour of stream. That's amazing. Since the Earth is constantly rotating, are we not all in some way rotisserie chickens? Do you think the ancient Greeks thought about that? Once they figure... Wait, did the ancient Greeks know that the Earth rotated? Imagine.
Hi, Mithrim. How you doing? Good to see ya.
Rook's not around, that means I'm number one.
Yeah, I'm doing better.
I had a bit of a weird... like, a bit of a rough week, but... like, well, not... yeah. It had its ups and downs. I've never been recommended before. Wow, I think. Fair week full of ups and downs isn't fun. No, but it's smoothed out. Because I've got... stream keeps dying and restarting. I knew something would be off, of course. My internet's been weird since... Cause we lost power to our area on Monday. And since then, my internet's been, like, weird. There is a minor solution to that. I hope that doesn't involve having to restart my router. Too many government secrets. That's okay. I won't tell anyone. I'll disconnect protection in Twitch settings. Okay. Give me a minute. I'll go look for that. I assume that's in settings, connections. That's not it. Not connections. Settings. Steam key. Oh, stream key rather. Where is it at? Stream, there we are. Disconnect protection. There we go. It is now set to on. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, maybe I should have at least stopped stream flickering on enough, yeah. Because yeah, I've noticed sometimes it when help disconnects on my end. No, yeah, what I should have done was restart my router itself. But I only restarted our NBN box. I probably should have done the router itself as well. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. I might want to do router as well, yes.
Wow! El Coconut Crab, thanks for the follow.
Yeah. I'll see what... let's see. Of course I do, I'm the leader now. Me! Seems the king and his knight were much the same. Actually, I'll see... I'll see how I go. Give minute. I'll be back! Hopefully. I'll see if restarting my router helps it.